Hello everyone and welcome to today's online class for class 11. From the electromagnetic theory of Maxwell, we get to explain the various phenomena of light like reflection, refraction, interference. Those kind of phenomena can easily be explained by the Maxwell electromagnetic radiation theory. But the other theories like black body radiation or photoelectric effect, this kind of phenomenon of light was not being able to explain by the previous theory, that is the Maxwell electromagnetic theory. Then comes scientist Max Planck, and he gave another theory known as the Planck's quantum theory or particle nature of the electromagnetic radiation. Now, Max Planck, scientist Planck, assumed that electromagnetic radiations consist of minute, small, discrete packets of energy. What I'm trying to say is that supposedly, if this is an electromagnetic radiation, if this is an electromagnetic wave that was assumed by the radiation theory, Maxwell electromagnetic radiation theory, it was assumed to be a wave. Planck is suggesting that this wave of electromagnetic radiation, if you enlarge this electromagnetic radiation in a computer simulation or like if you enlarge this electromagnetic wave actually consists of small packets of discrete minute energy packets. If you enlarge this wave, Planck assumed that this wave consists of these small discrete packets of energy. These are small discrete packets of energy. Each packet of energy, he termed them as quantum. And cumulatively all of them are known as quanta. So, the new assumption that Planck gave is that the electromagnetic radiation consists of numerous numbers of small discrete packets of energy. Each packet of energy consists its own energy amount, and cumulatively they create the entire electromagnetic radiation. Each packets of radiation, each packets of this energy, each packets of energy is known as quantum. Cumulatively, all the packets of energy in an electromagnetic radiation known as quanta. Now, if this electromagnetic radiation is specifically of a light energy, in that case, that quanta is known as the photon. So, photon and quantum is the same thing. Packets of electromagnetic radiation energy which creates the entire electromagnetic radiation wave. If the electromagnetic radiation we are talking about specifically light, then in that case we are going to call the packets of energy as photon instead of the quantum. Now he assumed, he also says that the amount of energy that each quanta, the amount of energy each packets of energy have depends on the frequency of the electromagnetic radiation. Supposedly, this electromagnetic radiation have a frequency mu. So the quantum packets of energy or the photon that is creating this electromagnetic radiation, each of them, the energy that will be inside this each packets will be equal to the h into mu, or this h is the Planck's constant, the value of which Planck has calculated and given us this is a constant term. This amount is constant. If you multiply this amount h, that is the Planck's constant, with the frequency of the electromagnetic radiation, in that case you will find the amount of energy that each quanta have. Now, if each quanta have EH, new amount of energy, and the electromagnetic radiation, entire electromagnetic radiation supposedly contain n numbers of packets. Each energy energy, each packet of energy contains h new amount of energy. Each packets contain each new amount of energy, and the entire electromagnetic radiation contains n numbers of packets, and in that case the total energy that will be consist in the electromagnetic radiation will be equal to n multiplied h nu. H nu is the amount of energy that is consist within one packet of energy, one quantum. Then n number of quantum will give n multiplied h nu h nu amount of energy, which is the total amount of energy of the entire electromagnetic radiation. This is the electromagnetic radiation theory, particle nature of electromagnetic radiation theory, that was given by the scientist Max Planck. Here again I am explaining it. He says that electromagnetic radiations Maxwell assumed to be a wave. He says that this electromagnetic radiation that is being emitted or absorbed by a body, actually they are consist of small minute discrete packets of energy. Now these small minute discrete packets of energy, he termed them as the quantum. When we are talking about numerous numbers of quantum, in a plural term we will be calling them quantum. Now if the electromagnetic radiation, specifically we are discussing about light, in that case we are not going to call these packets as quantum, we will be calling them as photon. So photon and quantum are the same thing. Just photon we are going to call these packets. When the electromagnetic radiation we are talking about light. He also says that the amount of energy that is going to be inside each packet of energy, you can calculate that also. And he's proposed equation. He says that the amount of energy of each packet or of each quantum is equal to the h nu, where h is a constant term, a constant value, which is 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 27 arc second if you are taking this entire calculation in a CGS unit, or 6.626 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second if you take this entire calculation in a SI unit. If you multiply the frequency of the electromagnetic radiation with this constant value, in that case you will find the energy of each quantum that is creating that electromagnetic radiation. So what is he saying, that each electromagnetic radiation is created by numerous numbers of quanta, which are nothing but the small discrete packets of energy. Now the energy of each quanta is same for that particular electromagnetic radiation. Now if you take two different electromagnetic radiation, suppose this is electromagnetic radiation 1, frequency is denoted by h nu, and this is another electromagnetic radiation. The frequency of the second one is nu 2. Now the quanta that will be creating this electromagnetic radiation, the energy of each that quanta will be E1 equals to h nu 1, and for this one will be E2 equals to h nu 2. Now frequency of these two electromagnetic radiation are different. So the quanta value, the energy value of each quanta h nu 1 for this one will be different compared to this one. So quanta, the values of quanta for different electromagnetic radiation are different. But for a single electromagnetic radiation, the quanta that is creating the electromagnetic radiation will be same for that particular electromagnetic radiation. So energy of each quanta actually directly proportional with the frequency of electromagnetic radiation. The energy of each quanta is directly proportional with the frequency of electromagnetic radiation. That is, it is directly proportional with the electromagnetic radiation itself. So energy of each quanta will be associated with the electromagnetic radiation. The last one, he assumed that if each quanta, the value of energy of each quanta is h nu, and the entire electromagnetic radiation consists of n numbers of quanta, then the entire energy of electromagnetic radiation is nothing but h nu multiplied n, where n is the total number of electromagnetic radiation. The energy possessed by each photon is known as one quantum. That is one photon energy is equals to quantum. Now, according to Planck's theory, it is equal to h into nu. Nu is the frequency of the electromagnetic radiation and h is the Planck's constant. Multiplying this Planck's constant with the frequency is giving the energy possessed by each photon. Now, if 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 numbers of photon is there, that is Avogadro number of photon. In that case, the amount of energy will be h nu multiply 6.023 into 10 by 23 numbers of photon, that is Na multiplied h nu, that is the energy of 1 mole of photon. Energy of 1 mole of photon is equals to Na multiplied h nu. This is known as, the amount of this is known as Einstein, that is 1 Einstein. One Einstein is equals to Na multiplied h nu, that is the energy of 1 mole of photon for any electromagnetic radiation is known as the 1 Einstein energy. The definition of one quantum is therefore energy of one photon, and the 1 Einstein is the amount of energy of 1 mole of photon in any electromagnetic radiation. So Planck assumed that light consists of photon, which is nothing but small discrete packets of energy, and he also says that each energy of each photon is equal to h multiplied nu. Nu is the frequency of the electromagnetic radiation. Nu is the frequency of the electromagnetic radiation, frequency of that particular light, and h is the Planck's constant value. And by multiplying this frequency, you are getting the amount of energy that is inside this each photon which is creating this entire electromagnetic radiation, entire light. Electromagnetic radiation of that particular light. And if we try to assume this and compare this with the Maxwell's electromagnetic theory of wave, then we can compare them by assuming that supposedly, if we try to assume electromagnetic theory with the help of Maxwell's electromagnetic theory, if supposedly this is a electromagnetic radiation and the frequency of this electromagnetic radiation is 500 Hz. According to Maxwell, this entire electromagnetic theory will be numerous electromagnetic wave of 500 Hz frequency. By combining all these waves, you can find the entire electromagnetic radiation. That is the wave theory for Maxwell. Now, what Planck is suggesting that Planck is suggesting that this electromagnetic radiation is actually consists of numerous energy packets known as the photon. The radiation, the energy of which is equal to the h nu, where the frequency of this electromagnetic radiation is lying. So that is the comparison between the two theories, that is given by the Max Planck, and another one was given by Maxwell, and another one was given by Max Planck. Maxwell said that it is a wave, numerous numbers of wave having and frequency 500 Hz. By combining them, you are getting the entire electromagnetic radiation. Planck is saying that by combining numerous numbers of energy packets, which is having the energy equal to h nu number, which is equal to the energy associated with the 500 Hz frequency, by combining all these packets, you are getting this entire electromagnetic radiation. So this is the comparison between the two electromagnetic theory of the wave theory and particle theory of the electromagnetic radiation. Now, this theory explains the phenomena like diffraction, reflection very well, but the black body radiation and photoelectric effect was not explained by this one. Planck's theory did explain this black body radiation and photoelectric effect. Now, during black body radiation, when at a certain temperature, supposedly T1, the energy that was being emitted, the frequency of this one supposedly h nu. Frequency is h nu 1. At T temperature, this black body was giving the was emitting electromagnetic radiation. Let's assume the frequency of that electromagnetic radiation nu 1. According to Planck, the radiation is consisting of photon, consisting of quanta. The energy of each quanta, in that case E1 equals to multiplying Planck's constant with h nu 1, and we are getting the amount h nu. Then when the temperature was getting higher at T2 temperature, which is higher compared to T1, at this temperature, higher amount of energy was being emitted from this body, which is given by, let's assume, as E2. This E2 is higher compared to E1, and the energy associated with this E2 is h nu 2. As this HE2 is higher compared to E1, therefore by Planck's theory, this nu1 will be compared to less compared to nu2, that is nu2 is higher compared to nu1, that is a different frequency, different radiation of different frequency, electromagnetic radiation with a different frequency, with a higher frequency is going to emit it at T2 temperature. That was the explanation that we were getting, that was the observation that we were getting. When the temperature body was heated, red color was we are getting, if the body is iron, when we are further heating it, we are getting blue color with higher frequency. The color of frequency of blue color is higher compared to the red color. So that was the explanation that was given by the Planck's theory of particle nature of electromagnetic radiation, which explains this black body phenomena very precisely. To explain the photoelectric effect, all the phenomena that we were dealing during the photoelectric effect experiment, the first one was that a minimum frequency radiation was needed to eject the electron. That minimum frequency is known as the threshold frequency of each material. If you irradiate the metal surface with its threshold frequency nu naught, in that case electron will be ejected from the surface. That was the first phenomena. Now, if we put the Planck's theory in the during this explanation, according to Planck's theory, the photon, the energy of each photon, considering this nu naught, will be equal to E naught equals to h nu naught. Now this is the amount of energy, minimum amount of energy that is required to eject the electron. That is the, when we are irradiating surface with the electromagnetic electromagnetic radiation with a frequency nu naught, the amount of energy in the one photon will be equal to E naught equals to h nu naught. This amount of energy is required to eject one electron from the surface. That's why this amount of electron is known as the photoelectric work function. That is the minimum amount of energy that is required to eject at least one photon, to eject at least one electron from the surface of the metal. Because it was assumed that one photon striking the surface of the electron ejects one electron. That is, each electron is ejected by the striking of each photon during the irradiation by an electromagnetic radiation. So when we are irradiating with the threshold frequency radiation with nu naught, in that case the photon that is striking out the electron will have the minimum amount of energy which is equal to the E naught equals to h nu naught. So therefore the minimum amount of energy required to eject one electron from the surface is equal to this amount. This minimum amount of energy is known as the photoelectric work function. Now supposedly in the next set of experiment, when we are irradiating with higher frequency, when the frequency of the incident radiation is higher compared to the nu naught, compared to the threshold frequency, in that case when this frequency, the energy of this photon is striking the electron is absorbing the threshold frequency to get ejected from the surface, and the remaining amount of energy, that is nu naught minus h nu minus nu naught amount of energy, the electron is transforming that amount of energy into its own kinetic energy, and then it is ejected out of the surface. So higher amount of the frequency that is going to that we are going to take as an incident radiation, higher will be the kinetic energy of the electron that is being ejected, and it will result in the electron ejected in a higher speed. In the last set of phenomena that we were observing, intensity of electromagnetic radiation in the Planck's theory was assumed to be the number of photon. That is, when we are taking electromagnetic radiation and we are saying that the intensity of the electromagnetic radiation we are increasing, we simply according to Planck's theory we are saying that higher number of photon in that electromagnetic radiation is there. I am saying it again. Intensity of electromagnetic radiation according to Planck's theory is equivalent to the number of photon present in the electromagnetic radiation. So when I am supposedly saying that red color light we are observing, which is an electromagnetic radiation, and we are taking two different intensity of red color light. What I am saying scientifically according to Planck's theory, that when I am saying higher intensity red color light, that is that red color light consists of higher number of red color photon. When I am saying lower intensity red color light, I am saying that lower number of photon is consist in that lower intensity red color light. So intensity is equivalent with the number of photon present in the electromagnetic radiation. Now each photon when striking the metal surface eject each electron. So when we are striking higher intensity electromagnetic radiation, we are actually striking higher number of photon onto the metal surface. That will result in higher number of ejection of electron. That was the last observation that we were getting. When higher intensity electromagnetic radiation was striking, higher number of electrons were ejected with the same amount of velocity, because we are not changing the electromagnetic radiation. But when we are changing electromagnetic radiation with higher frequency, the number of electrons that were getting ejected was same, but the speed was getting higher. This is two graphical plot that I have drawn on the whiteboard. First graphical plot is kinetic energy of photoelectron versus the frequency of photon. Now, this point is the nu naught, that is the threshold frequency. The left hand side of this point, the negative kinetic energy can be observed, and the right hand side of this point, the positive kinetic energy can be observed, and with the increase in the frequency, we can see the increase in the kinetic energy can be seen. Now, threshold frequency is the inner point at which the ejection of electrons start. If we use a frequency frequency lower than threshold frequency, then no ejection can be observed. If we take the incident frequency higher compared to the threshold frequency, in that case higher kinetic energy, electron will eject with higher kinetic energy with higher speed. That same thing can be observed in here also. When we are having lower frequency compared to this threshold frequency, the energy is negative and it is getting more negative with the more decrease in the frequency. When we are taking frequencies higher compared to the threshold frequency, then the frequency kinetic energy of the ejected electron also increases. Now, when we are taking this graphical plot, that is of kinetic energy of photoelectron versus the intensity of the incident radiation. In that case, we are observing that with the increase in the intensity of the incident radiation, no change in the kinetic energy is observed, because we are not actually changing the frequency of the incident radiation. We are not changing the incident radiation itself. We are only increasing the intensity of the incident radiation, that is the number of photons now striking is getting higher with the increase in the intensity. That's why higher number of proton will be ejected, higher number of electron will be ejected, but the kinetic energy with which it will be ejected out of the metal surface, that will not change. That's why with the increase in the intensity, no change in the kinetic energy of the photoelectron is observed. Phenomena like reflection, refraction, diffraction can be explained if we assume light to be a wave. On the other hand, if we assume blackbody radiation, photoelectric effect, this kind of phenomena of light can be explained if we assume light to be a stream of particles. That's why that's why it is said that light has dual nature in them. Of that dual nature in them, have dual nature. It behaves both as wave and also as a stream of particles.